Oh, good morning, friends. Apple is throwing her hay out. She's still not loving it. I hope you are having a great Monday so far. It is cold here. It is so cold. We went from 70s or almost 70 last Thursday to it is 18 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. So cold. Oh, but so we had a wonderful, beautiful, blessed fall. And it's still technically fall, but winter's kind of peeking through because, oh my goodness, it is so cold. But it's all right. We'll take what we can get, right? We'll take it. It's all right. We are just doing our last minute preparations for winter around here. Um, which I kind of feel silly because we had such a beautiful fall. It should be done by now. Like, I swear God is like, Melissa, I gave you this beautiful weather. You should be done by now. And I'm not. I'm not ready yet for winter. Um, but, there's a lot going on. That's not just, uh, can't always be outside doing stuff on the homestead. Still got kids to take care of, right? And a house and all that. So it's all right. So I thought today I would talk about what we do to prepare for winter. We live in Wisconsin, and we get snow. The last few years, we have not gotten very much snow, at least not our like a typical amount for around here. It's been pretty. Our snowfall total has been pretty low, so we're praying that this year we actually get a lot of snow. We really are. The ground needs it, right? It really needs it. So, as much as it's not super fun dealing with shoveling snow or moving snow and stuff, but we definitely need it. I am super hopeful for snow, not hopeful for cold. Like, I love snow. I hate frigid cold temperatures. I'm just a wuss. Yeah, I am. I'm just a wuss. But so that's my hope. Not super super cold. Those. It's usually like January, February when we get those like -20 plus days with wind, and oh, it's just miserable. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So, what do we do to prepare our homestead for the winter? Um, so, starting with the animals, let's see. Let's start with the chickens. So we get a bunch of leaves, and we do deep bedding in their coop. What that means is we just take a bunch of leaves, grass clippings, whatever. You can take anything that's an organic material. Shavings, although that can be expensive, and that can compact. Um, Pine needles, straw. Straw is not the best, but anyways, we choose to use. Uh, this is going to be not a fun milking, by the way. Just going to add this in here because last night I kind of forgot to move to put Johnny in the stall, so it's later. So she's not going to have a lot for me. Anyway, let me see if I can move you. I feel like I'm always talking over my shoulder, but I can't get the right angle. One of these days, I will figure it out, and I will have the right angle, and it will be easier. Anyway, um, so we do deep bedding. So we put like a foot to 2 feet of this organic material in the chicken coop, and what that does is it provides, as it breaks down, it provides heat in a natural form of heat for the chickens. It also keeps them occupied, and they like scratch at it, and it kind of keeps them from being bored and pecking at each other, because that happens. And then every few weeks, as we remember, we take a pitchfork and we kind of like turn it, and that also prevents like the big nasty pileup of manure, because face it, we can't clean our coop every day. And when you have temperatures that are below freezing or at freezing, it freezes. And then you have just, there's just no way, it just builds up. I mean, there's no way around it except to just clean constantly. And we can't, just can't. So this prevents that big, nasty buildup. It keeps down the amount of frostbite that we get. We get frostbite. Sometimes it happens, especially on the breeds that have taller combs, bigger combs. They get spots of frostbite, and that's not really a big deal. It happens, but the worst is frostbite in toes. They always feel bad when they get that. And ever since we've done the deep bedding method, we don't really have it at all. Like we rarely on a, I don't even know if we've had it since we've done that. So keeps our feet healthier, and just in general, it keeps the coop much more pleasant and warm. We don't heat the coop. Some people choose to, but chickens they're meant to be outside, unless you have like little banties or little breeds that are not meant for this weather. We try to stick with breeds that are a little hardier so that they can handle this weather, our Wisconsin weather. But really, I mean, they're farm animals. They're meant to handle it. And overall, our chickens do just fine. We do on occasion add some heat. Like if we get those really nasty, okay, Apple, enough. Nasty, like when she does this, I know what she wants. She wants green, or she threw all of her hay out, so she wants hay, but she's being a brat, so I don't automatically give in to her. I milk a little bit longer. I do it on my turns so that she doesn't develop a bad habit. She's like, it's like a kid, right? Anyway, so what was I saying? Chickens. Oh, so occasionally we do put some heat in there, maybe even just a light bulb, and turn it on, just to keep the water from freezing. The deep letter method does help the water from freezing. And this year we bought a pan heater. It's like this like galvanized pan that we put a water vessel on top of it, and it heats up enough just to keep it from freezing. Which, by the way, I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure how we'll do that with the deep litter method. I think what we'll have to do, spontaneous thoughts, because we don't actually have the chickens set up yet. We're getting the leaves tonight for that from Mike's parents. We do not have a ton of leaves on our property, we just don't have a lot of trees that we just don't. So we take our cattle trailer and we go to family and we just load up leaves. So we're doing that tonight. But I think what I'm going to do is we have a bunch of cinder blocks, put that down to raise it up, put the heater thing on that, and then the water on top, because I don't think the heater probably shouldn't go on the leaves, right? It's probably a fire hazard. Okay, she's been okay, so I'm going to go fix her up. All right, she should be happy with that for a little bit. Move your leg. So yeah, that's what we do. We also close. Normally, we're very blessed. We do not have a predator issue. Our biggest predator is like hawks and eagles around here, and we don't lose very many. So our chickens get to like come and go as they please. Our coop door is always open, and so like the small door for the chickens, the access door for them. But in the winter, we do close that up and plastic it off so that it just prevents less drafts. Now, when you don't want your chickens to be like completely draft free, you actually do want some ventilation. Otherwise, you definitely develop some condensation issues and respiratory issues with that. So you need some sort of ventilation, but that side is the west facing side. It's a very windy side. So we plastic that off. And then if we get a warm day, we just open up the main door to the coop and let them out into the yard. So that's one thing we also still have to do. So we have to round up all the stragglers that are out, that never stay in. So they don't stay in their run. They have a 6-foot fence and they still get out, and their wings are clipped. Some of these are like Houdini. Anyway, so we have to still do that. And we will kind of lock them in there at least once it starts getting like consistently cold. And I think I said the light. So sometimes it's just a light bulb. Sometimes if it's going to be like miserably cold, like when we had the polar vortex a few years ago, and it was just dangerously, insanely cold for like a week. Yes, we put a heat in there because they aren't. They're meant for cold, but really not for that. We aren't going to be that cruel. So that's what we do for chickens. And this year, I'm not sure what we're going to do for ducks. I don't want them in with the chickens because they make the biggest mess. So we still have not figured that out yet. We will. It's something along those lines. And we do the same with the turkeys. So poultry in general, that's kind of what we do. And we just probably will put the ducks in a different coop on their own. So let's see. Ducks, pigs, we pretty much just give them some bedding in their huts. Just give them some straw. There's more than one of them, and they do a great job of burrowing down and like rooting down and getting their hole, and they just kind of pile in, and they're really hardy. That's about all we do. We also get a bunch of pumpkins from people, and we feed them out to the pigs and the cattle too. Just that's not really preparations. That's more just food. Yeah, you are not giving me much. Kind of expected this. Let's see. And so we get, for the cows and horses, we load up on hay. And so we bought about 30,000 pounds of hay. And we are set with that. They don't like it. It's not their favorite hay ever, but it's hay. It is something. It's not. I keep saying this because I don't want someone to be like, you need to get them something else. That's poor quality hay. No, there's really nothing wrong with it. They're just picky, or we had really good hay before, and so this is more of a grassy hay, and they're used to some clover and alfalfa in it, so they're a little bit perturbed, and they'll get used to it. It's fine. It's enough to get us through the winter, and we're blessed to have it. There's many areas of the country where hay is very scarce, and we are blessed that we had a good hay year this year. So we load up on hay, and then we put a water heater in the stock tank, and yeah, so that's about it. We do have a pile of straw as well, so we will bed down some stalls. We do not constantly have the stalls bedded, all of them. We do have the one that the calf stays in overnight. That one's bedded. But once it gets frigid, like usually after the new year is when we get the super cold temperatures, then we'll start giving them more bedding and stuff. But for the most part, they have shelter, they have food, and they have water that's not frozen, and that's what they need. And I'm trying to think of anything else that we do. We don't blanket our horses. That's a debatable conversation, but in essence, the horses need to grow a nice, thick winter coat. There are some horses that struggle to do that, and are older ones, and yes, you have to help them out. Get that completely. And some people show their horses year-round, so they don't want them to grow that thick, fuzzy coat, and they blanket them. But in general, we don't. And even when we have tried, they don't love it. They're kind of like, get this thing off of me. This is not fun. They don't really love it. So horses, pretty much the same as the cows. On occasion, we'll supplement them. If it gets super cold, we might give them some grain, because that helps their body warm from the inside out, but not a lot. Our animals, we love our animals. We take good care of our animals, but they're also not babied. Like, they are also animals, and they're meant to handle these different changes, different seasons, and we let them do what they're naturally supposed to do. Our bees, we we hope and pray that they make it through the year this winter. Oh, bees are just a wing and a prayer. So what is it? No, that's not what you say. Anyways, we wing it. No, not really. We give them. We do not normally feed our bees. We feed them in the spring, just so that they can, before like the blossom, like a lot of. There's not a lot of for them to forage. We'll give them some food then. Helps them also draw out comb. And then we give them extra food in the winter, which means we pretty much just sprinkle a heavy layer of sugar across the top inner cover. And they can go up there and get some if they need it. But we did leave them a lot of honey also, so they have their own natural sustenance in there. That's what's best for them. Are you done? Just massaging her udder. Hopefully she'll give me some more. She's holding up for the calf, I can tell. Struggling. I need her to be producing more, so I'm really working on that. Anyway, bees. And then we wrap the hives in some sort of paper. I can't think of the word. Some black paper stuff that keeps it from the drafts. And I think Mike also like duct taped some of the drafty spots, some of the holes. So unfortunately, bees are just hard. They're hard to. What else do we do? Oh, we put ceiling. It's actually like a ceiling tile that we cut into the outer cover, and that helps like absorb moisture, so that they don't get condensation that will kill them, and then it drips, and then they freeze. Yeah, that's the bees. What have I talked about? I think I've talked about everything. And then our house. Our big thing is wood. We burn wood, so we've got a whole bunch of wood. We should have enough for the year, but we also have access to wood if need be. If come spring we have a long winter and we need extra wood, we have it available in a location that's accessible at my parents and grandma's. So yeah, and we just hunker down for the winter. And I like the winter to an extent. I mean, it gets long and then you're ready for spring, but I like not feeling like I have to be outside. Oh, I didn't really talk about gardens. We take off all the landscape fabric, all the irrigation, and then put down manure and put down a lot of leaves, bedding, organic material again, a lot of leaves, and that breaks down, and it's so good for the soil. So we do that with the gardens. We are not done with the gardens yet. I still have winterizing to do, but that's okay. This week I'm going to get all the rest of my harvest in. I did up all the rest of the tomatoes last week. What else did I pick? All the rest of the potatoes are done. I picked a whole bunch more salad greens. I'm not sure that they survived last night. I do have them covered, but still, I think they probably, but I picked a whole ton of them, and that's fine. Still have to get leeks out, and Brussels sprouts I have to get out today, and I still have beets, so I'll probably pick those today. Carrots can stay in. I can just cover them, and they'll be okay for a while if I decide to pull them, or I can pull them. Yeah, I probably will pull them. Anyway, so then we just get them all pulled. We throw down like leaves and manure, and that's that. So yeah, it's such a busy time, and I know I'm always like, oh, after we get this done, things will slow down, and after we get this done, I'll do some planning. Yeah, I feel like it's just always busy on Homestead. There really is no downtime, because once I'm done with this, I mean, then we have holidays, and then as soon as holidays are over, we are planning for seedlings already, and planning the garden and getting that done, ordering seeds, starting seeds. But it's all right. It's a life I would never trade. I love this life, and I'm so thankful that this is a life God has given me. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed week, and I hope you stay warm if it is a cold area for you. If you guys are feeling the cold too, Stay warm. I know, like Friday, I think our high is 21 degrees, and it's deer hunting season next weekend. Starts. Oh, we are gonna freeze in the stand, but it's all right. It's all right. We're also getting snow this week, so maybe next week I will tell you a good story about hunting. Um, Fingers crossed. Let's hope we have a great season for hunting and a safe season. And yeah, so I hope you all have a blessed week, and I will see you next time. So long.